It is, there it is, Tuesday, June 16th. I had the day off yesterday from work. My manager texted me, congratulations, take the day off work. So that we did. Did a whole lot of R&R yesterday, rest and recovery. We dropped Dylan back off at the airport, and the rest of the day I just had one client and we were home catching up on work for the week. Resetting for the week. Yes, it's still a normal day, so I still gotta do all my weekly reset and all that kind of stuff, but we were 2 days out, 2 days post Ironman 70.3 in Rockford, so I figured we can talk about everything that went on during the race. So the morning started off, I got up at 3 in the morning and the boys were still sleeping, so I had to be relatively quiet, but I wanted to be up at 3 so I can get all of my food in, get my bowel movements going. So I had my coffee, I had a bagel, and I had a Go bar. And then I also had been sipping on some G1M and a scoop of electrolytes up until I got into my transition area. So 3 in the morning, got up, kind of cleared my mind. I obviously did my devotions with the Daily Stoic and my proverb. And to be honest with you, the Daily Stoic for that day kind of fit in pretty well if we go back. The title was Try the Other Handle. Every event has 2 handles, one which it can be carried and one in which it can't. And I took that and said, I can either be the one that tells myself I can or I can't. And I locked that mindset in for the rest of the day. And I wanted to tell myself that I can. This was going to be the longest open water swim I've ever done and the longest bike ride that I've ever done, period. So I had to lock in mentally, and that's why I woke up at 3 in the morning. So I did my devotions, I made my breakfast, let my system do what it needed to do, which thank God it did. And then we went and started getting ready for the day. I took a shower, freshened up. Yeah, I know I was getting in open water, but a shower always, even just to rinse off like the toxins from the night before, always gets me going, always gets me feeling pretty good. As you guys saw in the last vlog, I then proceeded to start putting on all my gear. And it was when I was putting my gear on and getting all of my bottles ready for the transition where everything really set in. And then I was just starting to feel a little bit nervous. So I put some headphones in, just wanted to kind of like clear my mind, kind of steer my mind's direction a little differently than it being purely on the race. I wanted to just focus and be in the present, be in the now. 5:15 rolled around, boys woke up, and then we saddled out to go to the transition area. So 70.3, you don't have transition bags, you just put everything underneath your bike, and that is your main transition area. So you saw in the last vlog, I put my bike, helmet, 2 pairs of socks, my running shoes, my bike shoes, and my bib, and then all of my nutrition was gonna be there. Taking with me to this swim, the way it works is they shuttled us from the transition area a mile up the river and then dropped us off there. So we had our morning clothes bag, so I brought with me a hoodie, and then I had my sandals and an extra pair of goggles just in case I needed it. But that was it. It was a wetsuit legal race, which was super nice. The water temp was 72 when we got into the water, so that was game changer. But gun time was 7 a.m. That's when the official race started. And then at 7:03, they were gonna start to let age groupers in. Now me, kind of placing myself in the race corrals or the swim corrals, I placed myself more towards the back. I put myself in the 45 to 50 minute age groupers, which I wanted to play it safe. I told myself going into this that I gotta be calm, collective, and just try to calm my heart rate down as much as possible. So I didn't actually get into the water until 8 a.m. So my race didn't start until 8 a.m. But yeah, I was feeling pretty good. Finally got onto the pier. I saw my mom and my uncle, gave them a little hug, took some pictures, and then we were in the water. I was kind of just messing around with some people, joking around with people, just making light of what we were about to do. But the swim was actually super amazing. Now that was the best swim that I've ever done, period. 30 minutes flat, 30 minutes flat. If you guys have been following me on social media, you've been seeing that my 2,000 meter swims in the pool have been running me close to 47 to 50 minutes. So to be 30 minutes flat, 2,000 meters was absolutely insane. I mean, insane. There was one turn to go around a buoy, and then it was just a straight shot all the way down the Rock River. And my first probably 400 meters was pretty chill, and then I started toppling over people. Open water wasn't too bad. It was just touching people and kind of just like fighting people to get positioning. But it's not necessarily fighting because they also don't know that you're there. So it's kind of like, oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, people would like start doggy paddling and be like, I'm so sorry. It's like, oh, it's all good, you know? Then I finally got into a groove after about 1,200 meters, and I'm like, all right, we're chilling. I kind of steered off course a little bit, then got back on, and then we were chilling. But then there was a little bit of a side wind that came on, and the side wind definitely disorientated me just a little bit. Like, it got me off, and it got me feeling all dizzy, so I had to slow my stroke down even more just to catch my breath. I flipped onto my back for about 10 seconds just to catch my breath a little bit more, and then flipped back over, and then we were on the home stretch. We crossed underneath the State Street Bridge. I looked up, I saw the volunteers, and I gunned it. I knew that was the 400 meter mark, so I gunned it. And I was just so happy to get out of the water. Finally made it to the bridge and to the pier, got helped out, and I was just so excited. My emotions were flying. I knew, and I told myself, if I get out of the water, it's a wrap for this race. This is it. Like, I just need to make it out of the water, get to the bike, and I'll be cooking. And we sort of cooked, sort of. So made it onto T1. T1 took me 6 minutes flat. So 6 minutes 1 technically for T1. It's a quarter mile from the pier all the way to my bike. Luckily, my bike rack was at the end, so I just needed to get to my bike, put everything on, and then I'm right there to the bike out, which was pretty awesome. So got there, 6 minutes 1 second. I had to strip off my wetsuit, do all that, get all that fun stuff on, put my socks on and all that. I really wasn't trying to rush through my transitions. I tried to be smooth through my transitions. And then we were out onto the bike. Now the bike was absolutely insane. 56.1 miles, 2,428 feet of elevation gain, 3 hours and 28 minutes. Now, once I got onto the bike, it was straight to nutrition. I wanted to get out a little bit, so I got like 3 miles out. My first bottle had 2 scoops of electrolytes, 2 scoops of G1M. Second bottle had 1 scoop of G1M, 1 scoop of G1M plus, and another scoop of electrolytes. My third bottle had 1 scoop of electrolytes, 2 scoops of regular G1M. And then I ditched a bottle at about mile, I believe it was mile 15 or 30, and then got a pure electrolyte bottle from the course. That was my nutrition plan, a gel every 45 minutes, which equated to 4. And then I also had a Go bar at mile 3 to catch up on some of the carbs that I used. So fueling was on point for the bike. However, the 2,428 feet of elevation gain was absolutely criminal. And on top of that, there was a headwind both ways. Now, we were told at the beginning of the course that there would be a headwind going out, but we'd catch a tailwind going back, so it kind of helped push us. That was not the case at all. It was a headwind out, it was a headwind back. So it got pretty gnarly, pretty crazy. A lot of people were talking about it at the end like that was one of the worst bike courses that they've done in terms of just the elements. So the wind and the uphill was just absolutely criminal. But when we all caught onto like the flats or the downhills, we picked up as much speed as we could. So I think my average was 16.2 miles an hour. I don't have a computer and I don't have power pedals, so I don't know what my actual wattage was. So 16.2 miles per hour, which was great. I'll take that any day of the week. I averaged towards the end of training, and it's flat here. I only get about 1,000 meters or 1,000 feet of elevation gain. So for me to get 16.2 on 2,400 as opposed to my 1,000 feet of elevation gain and get about 18, 19, 20, I'll take it any day of the week. Got off the bike in 3.5 hours. Nutrition was good. Everything was pounded. I finished and cleared out all my bottles, which is what I wanted to do. Then it was time for the bike, or for the run. So I get off onto T2 onto the bike in, and my right quad immediately locks up. I mean, the worst Charlie horse you could think of, I got it. And I was right in front of the spectators, and they were telling me, pound your electrolytes, you got this. And all I can think in my head was, yep, you're right. Just pound the electrolytes, keep going. So that's what we did. pounded the electrolytes. I walked back to my bike rack, which again is all the way at the end of transition. So it's about a good, I wanna say maybe 300, 250, 300 meters away from where I was. So I walked all the way back there, didn't wanna run it, didn't wanna risk it. But I knew, cause that's how my body works, if I sat down to put my shoes on, which I did, everything would be fine. So racked my bike, took off my helmet, put my shoes on, grabbed my gels. I was probably in T1, I wanna say for 4 minutes and 42 seconds. So a little bit faster on T1, again, 0.16 of a mile, a little bit faster on T2 than I was in T1, but that helped tremendously. Once I put my shoes on and got up, the Charlie horse went away, and then we were out cooking on the run course. Now the run course was a 6.5 mile loop, and it's 2 loops around, which was pretty awesome. Again, I had 4 gels that I needed to take. I also grabbed an extra Martin just in case I needed it. But the plan was to hydrate at every single station that I could, electrolytes and water. I also had salt sticks with me, so I think I pounded probably 6 salt sticks, little tablets, while I was out there, which was completely necessary because after the first loop, I was running the first 6.5 miles, things were going great. And then once I got around to the second loop, that's when things started to tank and hurt a little bit more. So then I started breaking up my run, or 3 minutes of run, 2 minutes of walk. And I just back and forth that all the way through that second loop. And that's how I got through it. I was taking Coke at the aid stations, I was taking water, and of course their precision nutrition electrolytes. I was just taking everything I could just to stay on top of both the cramping. My heart rate was fine. It was just the cramping in my legs. And it wasn't that I was losing salts. It was more so that I was just, the muscular endurance was starting to give up on me. So I stopped at a couple of Porta Johns. I probably did that 2 times. I did it 2 times on the bike and then probably 3 or 4 times on the run. The run in total took me 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I will take that as well. Being post 2,400 feet elevation gain and 56 miles on the bike, and to do 220 on a half marathon, I'll take that any day of the week. It was honestly such a great race. As you guys saw on the finish line, I'll probably post it again right here. But as you guys saw, I was just so excited to finish the race. All the hard work that we've been putting in, all the missed sessions because of whatever it was, whether it was my bike breaking down or I just wasn't feeling good that day. It all just came in together, and I was just so proud in the moment. I let everything out. I told myself, don't hold back on any emotions. We soaked up everything that the crowd was giving me. I saw my boys at the end. My dad came out at the end. My mom was there. My uncle, my aunt, and my friend Ashley were all there to support me and to push me on. And to see them at every single stop that they were at was amazing. And to just keep going and just to stay committed to everything that I have put forth in this prep was absolutely amazing. The resiliency that we built, the power that we built, I cannot express to you guys how worth it that was. And this is only the beginning. I'm so excited for what other Ironmans we have coming up. But I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about, I know this is gonna be a little bit long, about what the course was, how I handled everything, and what we're gonna do next. So coming up next on the training block, I got 2 weeks off, and then marathon prep starts June 28th. Technically, I guess I am in marathon prep to an extent, but I'm gonna take 2 weeks off. And by 2 weeks off, I mean, we're probably gonna do a couple of light runs here and there. I still wanna keep up swimming. I still wanna keep up biking. I'm not getting rid of that. Ironman and triathlon training is just solely what I wanna keep doing for the foreseeable future. So the next triathlon, there is one close to me in a place called Wakanda. Yes, Wakanda, but it's spelled differently. We're gonna do that triathlon with one of my friends, Jesse. And then the Chicago Triathlon, which is in August, we're gonna do that one as well. That one's gonna be an Olympic distance triathlon, and I think the one with Jesse is gonna be a sprint. I'm not sure, I gotta double check on that, but everything's gonna be smaller than what I currently just did. And then we have the Chicago Marathon in October, and then the Madison Marathon in November. So we've got quite the stacked year coming up, plus a couple of other small races sprinkled in here and there, I'm sure. That was Ironman weekends, so I don't know where this week's gonna take us. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might go to a concert this weekend, not sure. But I will see you guys in the next clip. Good morning. It is 6:18 in the morning, Saturday. So last I picked up the camera was on Tuesday. I've been busy with work and I haven't done any training other than swimming. Wednesday I did a swim, Friday I did a swim, and today we're gonna go do an open water swim in Crystal Lake. So I have my Go Bar, I've got my G1M Plus in my bottle ready to go. I don't know how far we're gonna go, but swim opens at 7:30. Swim briefing is at 7:15. So we're gonna go do an open water swim, have a good time, and then tonight I'm going to a concert. So it'll be a great weekend. So let's get it started. All right, we're here at the lake, Crystal Lake. I believe we're gonna be going around this thing. So should be fun. It's a little chilly out. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is 60 degrees. It's a little chilly. Thank God I brought my wetsuit. So gonna go suit up, use the bathroom, and let's go have a good time. Swim is all done and dusted. I'll show you what we guys did, or what we did. So you'll go all the way down there, and then all the way to that island right there past that gazebo is about 500 meters, and then back is another 500 meters. So we were pacing my friend Ashley. You guys have seen her in a couple of vlogs. We were pacing her this morning. This was her first open water swim, only my third. And she did absolutely amazing. The water was clear. It was a beautiful morning. Once you get in and get going, honestly, you didn't feel how cold it was. But it was such a great way to start this Saturday. I'm excited. I've got some big news coming up. So I'll see you guys in the next clip. It is now Sunday, June 21st at 2:27 p.m. I am cooked from yesterday. Yesterday was a lot of fun. We went to a Morgan Wallen concert, but I went so I could see Ella Langley. Big Ella fella. But that was a good time. We didn't get home until 3 a.m. because he didn't get off of the stage until midnight. So it was quite the adventure last night. I'm tired. Thank goodness I am on a rest period during my training block, but that's the vlog. Nothing crazy. Had a couple of training sessions. Hopefully this coming week we're gonna start picking back up on the training sessions. Gonna slowly start to ramp back up because after this week we're gonna be on marathon prep. That's right, we'll be 16 weeks out from the Chicago Marathon, I believe. So we've got a lot of work to do. Gonna be a good time. I am excited. People keep texting me, so I am going to log off the vlog here. If you're new, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, stop by, say hi, don't be shy, and as always, my team, stay committed.